One of the flagship brands that Mr. Chaudhury owns is Oudh 1590.
Lucknow cuisine was much beyond biryani and chaat. For Oudh 1590, there was a special police posting done for the restaurant there.
How did your journey into the communication and PR space begin?
Bengal's achievements need to be showcased beyond Bengal. Pramod Maloo said, Shiladitya, korte parbe? Then yes, sir, of course. And that's how my journey of communication started. My first client was the West Bengal government.
Which all jungles have you covered?
Each year, twice I go to Masai Mara.
Let's hear it for Mr. Shiladitya Chaudhury. Thank you so much. For members like us, managing one business also at times become very, very challenging. And on this side, we have a gentleman who's not just managing one, not just managing two, but he's actually having businesses in the field of communication, food, music, photography, and now the cherry on the cake, he's also an avid traveler. Whatever I could gather from the podcast, sir is in the jungle for almost 10 days every month, if I'm not mistaken, sir. Maybe a little more. So, sir, first and most importantly, we all want to know, how do you balance so much of work and along with that so much of traveling, sir?
First of all, I'd like to thank Urmila, my friend, Mr. Maloo, for inviting me here. Good morning, BNI members. For the first time attending a symposium like this with BNI, I'm very impressed to see this business networking platform. I've never seen this before. Thank you very much. And as you said, I travel a lot. Yes, I do. Because that gives me the kick to think more, plan more, because single-handedly I'm nothing. We have a team of about 1,000 plus people working with us today. So when I'm in the forest, when I'm in the remotest of the part, when nobody can connect with me on the phone, that's the time when I plan. And when I come back to Calcutta, I give my team to execute that. I believe that's the only secret mantra of success. Because once you're in the field, once you're in Calcutta, you get so many calls, you get disturbed by day-to-day routine, mundane work. So these 10 days when I travel, yes, that's my passion, to go to the forest and chase wildlife, to do photography, do a lot of conservation work in the forest. But yes, that's the time when I plan and I delegate work to my colleagues. That's the success.
Super, super. One of the flagship brands that Mr. Chaudhury owns is Oudh 1590. How many of us have had the chance to enjoy the food at Oudh 1590? Yeah.
So many times.
So many times.
Very
So now you know who's the man behind. So in this crowded market of Mughlai food, you know, biryani is like staple food of Kolkata. In this crowded market, why do you think of entering into this? And just so that all of you know, Oudh 1590 is doing 100 crores of turnover every year. 100 crores plus.
Not every year, we just start 100 crore this year, this financial year.
Okay. We wish it does 100 crore every year. Okay.
So when we created this brand some 12 years back, me and my younger brother Devaditya, in fact my younger brother first started Chow Man in a very small way. I'm sure all of you are of Chow Man, the other brand which we own, in Gold Green. That was 14 years back. And then we thought we must do something together, both of us. Then we were debating on what cuisine to zero down on. First we thought we should do a Bengali restaurant. But in Bengali restaurant we saw many layers. You have like Pice Hotels, you have Bhojori Manna, you have Six Elegance Place. Then you have O Calcutta, one notch higher. Then you have Ahili and Peerless, that's two notch higher. And they have Sonargaon and Taj Bengal. But surprisingly, in this genre of Mughlai cuisine, you just had Shiraz, Arsalans and Armenians on one side, and you had Tamput on the other side. There was a huge gap. With no offense made to anybody, I'm a big fan of Shiraz's biryani, but I would not like to go to Shiraz to celebrate an occasion, or like to go to Armenia to celebrate an anniversary of the occasion. So we thought that's a huge space where we should work on. It's not just selling food, we must celebrate an occasion, and it's an experience which we should reckon with. That's how Oudh was born. So when we were debating on the cuisine, we thought let's go to Lucknow and see what is Lucknowi cuisine all about. So we went to Lucknow and we were just surprised to see Lucknowi cuisine was much beyond biryani and chaat. I am proud to say we introduced garoti kebabs in Calcutta. Nobody saw garoti kebab before that. We were the first to serve handi biryani in Calcutta. Individual handis being dum cooked, and we were the first to serve that. Nobody saw that before. Bengalis, I'm a Bengali.
I forgot to ask you, most of the biryani brands, biryani that we've had in different brands is of specific taste, and Oudh 1590 is very different, and that is how.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why how it started. So 10 years before, a decade back, Mughlai food would mean only biryani and cham. I'm sure everybody will accept that. It was only just biryani and cham and maybe a couple of kebabs. But when we were in Lucknow, we were surprised to see Lucknowi food was much beyond that. There was a whole range of biryanis. Fish played a very important role in Lucknowi cuisine because this Gomti river which flows from Lucknow and a huge array of fish delicacies. Nobody ever thought. We introduced fish cham for the first time in Calcutta. And beyond that, we thought we must create a little piece of Lucknow in Calcutta. That's how the Deshapur Park outlet was born. We hail from a very average middle class family. We never had money to start that. But yes, we had the conviction, we had the zeal, and to do something. And then we wrote to Nitish Roy. I'm sure many of you must have heard of Nitish Roy. Nitish Roy is a very award-winning film set designer, art director, who did Muqaddar Ka Sikandar, who did Fana with Amir Khan. He's a Bengali from Bombay. We reached out to Nitish Roy and we told him, Nitish, now we have a dream, but we don't have money. We need to recreate a piece of Lucknow in Calcutta. That's how our 1590 was born in Deshapur Park. Everybody discouraged us. Everyone discouraged us because this cuisine is basically a community-driven cuisine. Very community-driven cuisine because a person would think a Muslim owner would actually sell the best biryanis, but we wanted to make that things. Why? It's no rocket science. It's no rocket science. We prove the things. So we went to Lucknow. We got the first team of chefs from Lucknow come back to Calcutta and first started the first Lucknowi restaurant, and we positioned it as a period dining experience. Some of you must have been to Oudh, many of you must have been to Oudh, so it's more of an experience from the crockery and cutlery to the costumes to the music being played in the background, the furnitures, the facade. It takes you back to a period, 1590.
What you are saying right now sounds very easy, but if I understand right, after 12 years is where you stand today. You want to just talk a little bit about how was this, the initial phase, which usually is a very struggling phase, teething problems. You want to touch a little bit on that?
When we first started the restaurant some 12 years back, I still remember that was a Thursday.
Okay.
And there was no customer on that day. Okay, we just started, we invited some friends, some celebrity friends in Calcutta whom we know invited them. Friday, no guests. There was a magazine called Graffiti which used to come with Telegraph. Margin for T2 has come in. So Graffiti was, taking a serious look of the Oudh being developed at that point of time. And they did not a cover story, a 4-page write-up on that. That was the Saturday. From that Saturday, thank God, even today, every evening, we have a queue outside the Deshapur Park outlet. It's been 12 years. At times, I get a little jittery. People will pay money, and that they will wait in a queue to have food. Certain facets. The second year Durga Puja, if you remember, in Deshapur Park there was a huge pandal and there was a huge hue and cry around that Durga Puja which happened in Deshapur Park. For Oudh 1590, there was a special police posting done for the restaurant there. Lal Bazaar came and they gave a special police posting because to manage the crowd at Oudh itself was a big challenge for the police at that point of time. And from that year, every year we have a police posting from Lal Bazaar Traffic Department outside. Now we have 14 outlets in Calcutta, not only in Deshapur Park, but many other outlets also.
Absolutely.
That's a huge amount of pride for us.
I have a live testimony every time. I live in Southern Avenue and every time I pass through Vivekananda Park, I see in the evening, especially in the weekends, people in queue waiting for their chance to enter the restaurant. So I can only imagine how this has become a 100 crore turnover brand. So amazing. Sir, moving forward, I understand you have a successful brand in the food, but also you have a brand in the communication. You want to tell us a little bit more about, how did your journey into the communication and PR space began?
I started my career after passing out from college with Dev Motors. When Dev came to India with the launch of CL and Marty's cars. I'm sure some of you must
Marty's, yeah.
CL and Marty's cars. Yeah. And Dev was the holding company. So I used to work for Dev Motors and I was posted in Japan and 6 months in Korea also. Dev had just come in India. And in a very short span of time, I became the country chief of a sister company of Devo called Session Corporation.
You became the country chief?
Country chief, yeah. India Today covered that also. And I was just 29 years old then.
Can I take a pause? Now you understand how did he become a 100 crore plus brand in the food, because there is something in this gentleman as a person, because it's not human to become the country chief in as short as 6 months. Let's hear it for Mr. Chaudhury.
I was 29 years old then, but sadly Devo shut shop in India. As you know, Devo Motors globally became bankrupt and they had to wind up. I was given a chance. I was very close to my senior management. They wanted me to shift back to Korea. Very first of its kind case. But I said no, because language was a huge barrier staying in Korea then some 25 years back. So I thought no, I'll come back to Calcutta. And then I worked again for a couple of years for some companies. And then I started my communications agency. That's also something very interesting. That time Buddha Babu had just come in power in the first time as chief minister. And there's a lot of positive vibes around West Bengal then, because Salim Putra was investing, Tata Singur, MOA was just about to be signed. Then I thought Bengal's achievements need to be showcased beyond Bengal. So from government, they should highlight their achievements beyond Bengal. So one day I went to WBIDC, the then chairman, Mr. Gopal Krishnan, IS officer. I gave a presentation on PR and communications, and I explained him why the need for PR at all for a government, for a state government, and he was absolutely in sync with me. He said, Shiladitya, the chairman was Somnath Chatterjee then, who became the speaker of the country. Next day I went to Somnath Babu and Nilupam said, actually it was love at first sight. It was love at first sight. Somnath Babu really liked the presentation. He just asked one thing. I said, yes, sir.
How old were you at that time?
33. Somnath Babu said, Shiladitya, yes, sir, of course. And that's how my journey of communication started. My first client was the West Bengal government. And whatever you have seen for the Singur movement, whatever happened, the signing of MOU, the stories being planted beyond Bengal and other cities, internationally all called on by our agency then. That's how the communication agency started.
Outstanding. I've also been told that you have a deep interest in wildlife. Please tell us what draws you to wildlife photography, and what's.
Not only it's a deep interest. If I can't do wildlife, I'll die perhaps. And so that gives you the oxygen to live. And I'm sure I'm sure if any one of you are into wildlife, and if you are not, if you ever go to a forest and spend a couple of hours there, you will be hooked to that. It's like a single malt whiskey, you'll be hooked to that.
So tell us, which all jungles have you covered?
Mostly, like each year, twice I go to Masai Mara. Each year, twice, it's been 14 years now. Every year, Masai Mara twice a year. Once during the winter and once during the migration time. So 2 years is mandatory for me. For the last couple of years, I've been taking troops with me for better knowing of the forest, better knowing of the flora and fauna of the region. I take small groups, 5-6 friends, not as a business of course, just as a passion. And every alternate month, I'm in any of the tiger reserves in India. I just did a 14 days, 4,000 kilometers drive all by myself, not even a driver, all by myself in a car, and I did 5 national parks. I just came back last week. And I also write for Telegraph in T2. I have a column on wildlife. And every month I write on that. This will be coming out next month. It's 4,000 kilometers drive on wildlife.
So with your kind permission, if I may invite all the members to be a part of your troop next time. If
please, I'll be more than happy to take you.
But क्या है ना, हमारा सब कुछ wholesale में होता है, तो 5-7 में नहीं होगा.
No, forest is something where you should have serenity. Too much of people to get in. It will disturb.
So what we'll do is we'll break it and we'll have a lottery system. ज़्यादा lottery के नाम आज पे हो रही है.
You should. Now I'm going on the 15th of August. My group is finalized, just 5 of us.
Okay. So maybe the next time.
The December, yeah.
Next time. Okay, 100%. Great. Sir, I can go on and on, but because of the paucity of time, I'll just put the last question for our session for today. A message that you'd like to give to all of us and all the budding entrepreneurs. There are some very young entrepreneurs I see in the visitors and all the established business owners. A message from your side, sir. Secret mantra of success.
Well, there's no shortcut to success. That's what I believe in. You know, to be absolutely passionate. Because me and my brother, both of us, we are not hotel management graduates. I don't even know how to make an omelette. I don't even know how to make an omelette. But yes, I have the passion, I have the zeal, I am focused, I am dedicated, and I know my subject. So whatever you do, you should be absolutely detailed on that. That's the only thing what you need to do. And very passionate. You should love the job that you do. That's it. And one more thing. People say that you need money to do business. No, no, no. You need brains, you need friends to do business, nothing else.
That's
Money will follow you.